What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back here with another video, and today we're gonna do round three. And just a quick note, I spent an hour rebuilding this mock draft with all of its trades. So for you guys who are just wondering, I flipped up some of the picks that we've done before, but I was going to actually recap round two. That's the funny thing, because I was gonna redo since it's Aaron Robinson pick, because we brought back K'Wan Williams. But after talking to your head scout today, he did definitely say that with with Williams' injury history, as well as the fact he's only on a 1 year deal, you guys are still looking for a slot corner. So Aaron Robinson is somebody who I'm going to be sticking with. So we're just going to jump right into this. Give me some love for being able to just redo this entire draft. It's been a pain in the ass, but I do love it. I do love it. And we are going to be doing another mock draft very soon. April 1st is going to be the most hated mock. I'm going to be making that. One of you guys made it, told me that. I'll give you guys credit in the video. It was a brilliant idea. So we're going to have some fun with that. And I hope you guys do come back for April 1st to enjoy that. And it's gonna be a 2 round mock. I believe it might just be one. I might be April Foolsing you already too early, but it's gonna be fun. So starting off with the first pick in the 3rd round, we got the Jaguars sitting here, and well, I mean, the team has we don't really have too many other needs. We brought back Sidney Jones, right? Again, if we want to look at the tracker, we can look at Jaguars, and of course, it gives us fucking Josh Oliver. But of course, we got brought back Sidney Jones. Don't know how long. That's a little bit unfortunate. But look how many signings y'all did. Like, y'all went out and just straight up went for it. I mean, your team is pretty good. You got like kind of a good weapon there, Marvin Jones. It was a very, very good deal. I think it was Marvin Jones for a 2 year, like 13.5, $14 million deal. And that was a great contract right there. But still, if we want to look back on the picks that we did do, we already did get we filled in most of our needs, funnily enough. So that's a great draft so far. So what I want to do is probably want to look on the defensive side. I mean, Tyson Alualu, he's going to be great for a short term. I mean, all these guys are definitely not going to be long-term options. I'm not seeing anybody except Roy Robertson Harris who could actually be a real impact. Again, secondary is golden. I mean, I would love to know how many years Sidney Jones would be there, because then I'd probably just take another corner here. I'd probably take Elijah Molden, but I'm not going to do that out of respect for Sidney Jones and out of respect for ignorance at this moment. I mean, we could even go for an offensive guard here, given the fact that I don't believe Tyler Shatley is the greatest offensive guard in the world. But if we want to look at the guys who are available, we got Davion Nixon here, who we can add to the interior. Again, Robertson Harris definitely, when paired up with Taven Bryan, should be a good enough squad. I mean, James Hudson could be another target for us. I mean, if we really want to do that, we could get rid of Cam Robinson. I'm forgetting who your other tackle is, but I don't think that's where we really need to go. Your team is bottom line pretty damn good. We might just be trying to go best player available or trade out and get extra draft capital. This team could be within 1 or 2 years able to compete, and that's pretty spectacular. Again, looking at the edges, if Joe Tryon were here, I'd put him as an outside linebacker and just add him into that raw rotation there. It's unbelievable what you guys do have. But I mean, I could be seeing a guy like Ellerson Smith being your guys' 3-4 defensive end. You just look at him; he's 6'7". He's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But I don't think that we really have any guys who we really need to get this spot. So there are guys like Jabril Cox on the board. There are guys like Baron Browning. We have Amari Rogers as well. A lot of teams really like Amari Rogers, and of course Elijah Molden. So teams could be moving up for them. I'm looking at the Eagles, and they still could potentially get another corner there. I'm thinking about potentially moving up with them for a linebacker, because then remember, we traded back and then traded back up for Asante Samuel Jr., right? So we're going to possibly try to trade up again, because we're going to probably net about the same values if we never traded at all. Again, we're going to have 3 potential first-round picks next year. Insane. But I think that getting a linebacker would be a really good move. We could see the Jets move up for a slot corner, though. Just one spot, but I am going to be moving up with the Eagles because, again, have the Lions moved up for a linebacker yet? Have we even gotten one? I think it'd be a little bit more fun if we moved up with the Lions, given the fact that we haven't moved up with them yet. And I don't think the Eagles are going to move up twice in the draft. They moved back twice, actually, and then moved up once. Actually, the Eagles might move up for this. There's definitely both these guys are going to be taken by either of these teams, so I'm not really worried about it. For the sakes of my Eagles fans and also the Jaguars might want to keep in close proximity. By the way, no, the Jaguars are the team that we are trading with. Of course, I am absolutely after doing this almost every single day for a long time, I'm still not not that great with this. But we can see if we can toss a 6 in there. Yeah, so it's likely we might try to toss. Okay, that one pickup is a big difference. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna move up just a smidge, and we are going to see, like, do we want Jabril Cox or Baron Browning? I think Jabril Cox is a better fit on the squad. He'd be a good pairing with Alex Singleton and then Davion Taylor, who's still developing. Safety again, don't really need it. We could get it later on, but again, tight end, we kind of missed out on that, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Tommy Tremble would not be a horrible tight end, but I could see Hunter Long or Trey McKitty being better fits. I mean, both of them are definitely different types of players, but I just think that they fit a little bit better. So I'm going to be going Jabril Cox here. Really stud linebacker out of LSU. He's going to be someone who can come in and make a day one impact, really good locker room guy, and can take on to a new scheme very easily. That's a big plus for me, especially in the NFL nowadays that is so up in the air. With the Jets on the board, I am 100% going to be replacing Brian Poole here. Let's make sure that the Jets haven't already done this, because I really just do not want to get totally screwed over by them. Lamarcus Joyner could be a slot, but I think honestly he's going to be more of a safety in the end, because you got Marcus May there. He's probably not going to be there for too long. Again, Lamarcus Joyner could be a slot, but I don't really think he's like a slot safety hybrid, and that's the same thing. It's a 1-year deal as well. Not to mention we got to go best player available here. The Jets need to be able to ace this draft. And to ace this draft, I think Elijah Molden he's so good. He's too good to pass up. I have him in the top like 25 players, even factoring in his value, his positional value. So, I mean, it's unreal value. So sitting here, I see I can see Calvin Joseph going right here to the Texans, because again, they got Lonnie Johnson a couple years ago, but they have a lot of issues. So let's see who's on the board. I think they just got to go best player available at this point. Baron Brownie's not going to be it. I know that they've definitely moved a lot of pieces, so I want to check what they do have still. So let's just see what the hell the Texans have brought in, because they've been working that free agency. So yeah, they got a lot of wide receivers who are more like under the radar. Oh, I did not know they got Ryan Izzo. So that's quite interesting to me. So yeah, they built their offensive line pretty solid, and then they've gotten plenty of dudes. They got Malik Collins too. Wow. Damn, they fixed their entire defense, man. Look at all the corners. I'm glad I was about to just pull a trigger on a corner there, but I honestly think they could possibly trade back here, because I think they definitely need to just continue getting draft talent. And in order to do that, they're really going to need to get extra draft capital. And at this spot, there's a lot of guys that we can take, like a Tutu Atwell, guys who would actually make a big impact on the game. Even a Chaz Surratt would be a really good move. I think that we're just going to need to move down a little bit and get some extra draft capital for it. And then that means with how good the players are, I think that's going to help out the Texans on being able to get somebody of good value down the line. So I'm going to be moving down, and the Lions are going to be moving up, because the Lions definitely could be using a nice little linebacker, and that guy is either going to be Chaz Surratt or Baron Browning. So we'll see how it goes. We're trading up with New England. Why did I select New England? We're not trading up with New England. Trading up with the Texans. There we go. Now we're on track. I was about to say, and we're gonna swap our 5 for a 6. I think I'm gonna try to get this 195. Again, it's not that big of a move. If they decline us, then we'll swap. They accepted. Awesome. So we're gonna probably get Baron. Oh shit. Well, we moved up for the wrong reason. That's the bottom line. We moved up for the wrong reason. That's a little bit annoying. However, there still is somebody on the board who I'd be willing to take. It's either James Hudson or Jackson Carman. So I'm not really too pissy about it. So looking at the guys who are on the board, we already did get a linebacker, but we could get another one. I mean, if you guys want to see what the Lions have already done at linebacker, I mean, they definitely could get another one. To be honest, I'm still on board for it. I'm still on board for it, especially since we have a second, third round pick that we could use somewhere else. Baron Brownie out of The Ohio State University honestly doesn't seem like a bad choice. These Ohio State linebackers definitely can kick some ass. So big fan of it. Also, by the way, Dylan Moses is falling. I just think that we're probably going to be taking him at this pick, by the way. this is also just best case scenario. We're not even going to describe it. Dylan Moses also got extremely underrated by the TDM predictive board. A little bit ridiculous, but we're seeing a run on linebackers right here. And again, this is a pretty good linebacker class. I said it wasn't until, I mean, if you're after day 2, it's not a very good one, which of course that kind of entails what the hell, like, you're supposed to, that makes sense. Like, after the top 3 rounds, you should be trying to get replacement level guys, but these guys could all develop into starters. So I think that the run on linebackers is not as crazy as it seems. But, I mean, the Falcons, dude, you guys are killing it in the draft. Dylan Moses, again, you have a really solid roster, and you don't need a linebacker. I don't think you need a linebacker at all. But getting a guy like Dylan Moses to sit and develop, because, again, I think he is a little bit more raw ever since his injury. He needs to get more up to speed. I think he's going to be perfect for him. So now with the Bengals sitting here, I mean, shoot, where do we go with you guys? We could go Jackson Carman here to basically sit behind Riley Reef, because he's definitely super young. He can develop, but I honestly like Brady Christensen later on. We're going to be 100% open and honest here. I would look at a 4-3 defensive end, like a Jordan Smith or a Quincy Roche here. Like Quincy Roche, he's built more as a 3-4 outside linebacker, but you know, he's a rush 3-4. Jordan Smith's going to fit more of that bulkier 4-3 defensive end. If you guys, it says 3-4. Bullshit. That's some bullshit. I literally saw Jordan Smith play 4-3 defensive end. So given the fact that they're doing that, they're screwing me over, they're getting on my nerves. You could look at Peyton Turner as well as a 4-3 defensive end. I'm not a fan of him personally. I would honestly potentially move out of this spot. We've already seen a couple of trades so far, and we do like to do trades. This is supposed to be a heavy trade mock draft, and it's supposed to be for fun. And we want to see teams that could use a center. I mean, Lloyd Cushenberry kind of sucks ass. So wouldn't be a bad thing if we were able to do that. You know, the Cowboys, we could see them try to move up for a different player. It's very interesting to me because there definitely is a lot of these teams are starting to sign guys in free agency and just try to go best player available. So if we're going to be honest, the Bengals, they could use a center. So it could be Creed Humphrey, or else it could also be Josh Myers here. And I think the fact that, why did I click my picks? I've done every single pick. The fact that we got Wyatt Davis, I'm honestly going to be reaching for Josh Myers here to be a true center. He's going to be paired up with his buddy. You got instant chemistry, and this is going to be the future of your offensive line. I think, again, you want to show Joe Burrow that you're just going to help him out, man. It's a big plus for him. So now the Jags are sitting here on the board, and they're like, well, shit, we got a lot of different options here, right? So we can get Davion Nixon to sit. We can get James Hudson as well to potentially reinforce on that backside. Oof. It's interesting. It's really interesting because we don't need a corner anymore. We don't. We could get Chaz Surratt as like a blitz linebacker, but there's not really too much this team needs. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't think there's that much that this team really needs. And that's surprising to me. That really is. You know, we already have a slot weapon. Don't need an Amari Rodgers. We don't really need any of these interior defensive linemen. We could go for an edge, though. We could. If we wanted a 4-3 outside linebacker who's pretty developed, we could go Quincy Roche here. And, again, he does have the size to be a 3-4 outside linebacker. They want him to be a 3-4 outside linebacker. We're going to do it. I have Quincy Roche up into the 50s. So, I mean, it's really good value on my board. Just still, your team already has a lot of free agent signings. You don't have that big of needs. So that's a big plus for you guys. Now, Jawan James might be on his way out eventually, so that's something I want to be focused on. We could go for a tackle. Lloyd Cushenberry's ass, but I think Creed Humphrey doesn't deserve to be a center either. I think he'd be a good guard. This is an interesting spot. I could see us going interior defensive line. I want to see what the Broncos have done. I honestly haven't been following the Broncos. They did get they brought back Shelby Harris. That's a really good signing right there. So their secondary is pretty full. Kyle Fuller is on a 1-year contract, though. I am a little bit worried about that. It's Justice Simmons back. That was the best news I heard all offseason. That's amazing. I'm a huge fan of that. So we could still go interior defensive line. Don't think we need to. Again, a lot of these needs were just already sucked up, and we don't really need to do too much else about it. But we could go Creed Humphrey because I know we have to keep it a little bit realistic. He could replace Lloyd Cushenberry, because he did not play that well last year. But tackle-wise, I want to see we're going to go to sporttrack.com. We're going to see, this is how I look up everything. Broncos contracts, everybody. You guys want to see how I do this? There you go. You guys are getting a little behind the scenes of what the hell I'm doing. But I always do this, and you got like Lloyd Cushenberry here. I mean, again, it's interesting. I want to see where Jawan James is though. We got our left tackle right here in Garrett Bowles, who's through 2025. That's absolutely wonderful. But I mean, Jawan James, if I'm not mistaken, he's on a long-term contract. So I think that he has dealt with injuries in the past. That might be the reason why people are saying that. But again, Dalton Reisner, I'm surprised he's a tackle. He should be a guard. I remember him coming out of Kansas State as a guard prospect. You guys don't really have too many holes though. Bryce Callahan's gone after next year potentially. Oh, interesting. So you guys are going to try to make a run at it this year, huh? Very interesting to me. You guys probably like, what the hell is this guy thinking? But that's really crucial for me to understand. Your D tackle is not too good. I know that Draymond Jones is a 3-4 defensive end, but yeah, there's not too much depth there. Very interesting to me. So your squad definitely could use some other help in the corner core more than I ever thought. Very intriguing. So yeah, there you go. You guys got to see some behind the scenes work of like how I actually think of everything. We could go Shaun Wade and try to develop him for a year. We do know how often corners do go down with injuries, especially when you're in the Mile High City. I mean, this team is stacked, yo. Let's just get Shaun Wade. I think people forget how good Shaun Wade was as a slot corner. And it's a little bit sad to me. If we're going to be honest, it's a little bit sad because of the fact that, he sucked as a boundary, but he was literally supposed to be a top 10 pick based on his performance as a slot corner. I just don't get why people really are like that low on him as a slot corner. As a boundary, yeah, he's garbage. He should be like a fourth rounder, maybe a fifth. But as a slot corner, he's worth a first in slot corner in the slot corner conversation. But we'll just see if he can get over his ego. Now with the Texans on the board, this is interesting. So we could definitely try to replace JJ Watt. Again, if you guys want to see what the hell the Texans did, they did a lot of stuff. Like, of course, it just bugs out on me, and then we don't get to see what's up. There we go. The Texans did a lot. I think that they could still go after a wide receiver. I'm not gonna lie. You can see a bunch of 1-year deals here on guys who are not gonna make a big impact. I could definitely still see that. They got Shaq Lawson, which is a great deal. If we're gonna be honest, I honestly think that we should go wide receiver here. I think that would be a really good option. And we got guys like Amari Rodgers on the board. And we did lose. I mean, I think Chris Conley's coming in to replace him, but we did lose our speedster and Will Fuller, which I don't really know why we lost Will Fuller. But, there's some guys on the board. And I could see somebody like a Daz Newsome or an Anthony Schwartz replacing him. So given that value, I think we could probably drop off that train. This is a tough one, guys. I think Malik Collins is on 1-year deal. Whew, it's tough. Honestly, we're gonna go Tutu Atwell out of respect for the fact that the NFL is high on him. I'm not. I have him over in like the 150 range, but he's gonna be able to go in and be a real deep threat. And that's something this team might want and they might need. So that's fine with me. Next with the Panthers. Panthers, we probably should go tackle for you guys, especially given the fact that there's Carmen Hudson here. You guys did a great job with being able to move up for Zach Wilson. Now, I mean, you did the good job of signing Moton as well. I don't think Greg Little is your future at tackle. We can look at corner as well. There's some really good ones on the board, like Tyson Campbell, but I know you guys run a lot of zone. So Ifeatu Melifonwu, Keith Taylor Jr., there's a lot of really good ones. We can get Chaz Surratt on this squad. Fuck me. Like that's insane. I'm gonna be going James Hudson here just for the fact that he's probably gonna be able to come in as a true left tackle and just start day one. I think he can start better than Jackson Carman. I'm a little bit worried from his Senior Bowl tape what actually happened, but I think he'll be okay. Now with Washington, I don't really know how long we're gonna actually X out of the Denver Broncos contracts right there. I don't know how long they have some of their guys signed, like Kendall Fuller or Jimmy Moreland. So I'm a little bit worried. I might even go for a corner here. But dude, what do you guys even need? That's the real question to me. What do you need? Again, you want to see what Washington did. So football team, they went out there. They got William Jackson. He's gonna be great. I don't know who the hell Danny Johnson is. So that's extra depth right there. And you got Larson. I'm surprised they brought in Tyler Larson, if we're going to be honest. I mean, Rouillet is amazing. I guess that's extra line depth. Like, shoot, I don't think they really have too many needs. This could be a good spot for a trade back as well to be able to select a good corner down the line for extra depth. And there are guys like Chaz Surratt on the board that teams could really use a blitzing linebacker and could actually use some help there. I'm looking at the Dolphins potentially moving up here because if I'm not mistaken, the Dolphins with Quiddy before. They still haven't gone linebacker, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they went Elijah Moore as well as Javonte Williams. They're still missing oh wait, actually they traded for Benardrick McKinney. But still, I kind of want to move up and still select Chaz Surratt as a blitzing guy on the outside. Damn. I'm like, there's some really good guys on the board, and I'm having a tough time here, guys. You guys are definitely feeling that. And I'm having a tough time, but we have Michael Carter on the board too. Like, Michael Carter is still on the board, and there are teams that could definitely use some lightning to the Thunder. And again, Washington doesn't need too much. So I'm actually trading out of the spot pretty far down because again, we have a pick at 82. We're perfectly fine. With the Jets. The Jets are going to be moving up. So the Jets moved back quite a bit, and now we're going to be moving up. We're going to send. Oh my God, look how many picks we have. We're going to see if we'll see a next year five, and a next year 6 can do it. I'm quite surprised. We'll send a next year 3, along with actually a 5th rounder this year. Maybe we could just send. Jesus Christ, do we only need to send a next year 3? We'll send a next year 6 and ask for a 7th in return. Let's see. I want to see how high. Okay, good. Well, we'll send a 6 and then get a 7th and put a next year 3 in. Because again, I don't know if this team's gonna be ready to compete this year. It's a little bit too RNG for me. So the Jets move up, and now they're able to select a star lightning to their Thunder in Michael Carter. I'm a huge fan of it. I think Michael Carter's a stud, dude. I'm a huge fan. Again, we can trade up with Washington now as well. But the Cowboys are on the board, and I mean, to be fair, they could go edge here. They definitely could with a guy like Jordan Smith, but I don't really see too many good 4-3 defensive ends until like Rashad Weaver. So with that being said, I think this is good for tackle depth. You look at Brady Christensen, who's a beast. Jackson Carman, who has a lot of potential and actually started for a very long time. Spencer Brown, he's going to be a right tackle. So for me, I'm getting Jackson Carman here, but Brady Christensen, you can't go wrong with it. Jackson Carman is just a true junior. He's just younger, and he has a lot of potential. Should have been a first-round pick if he didn't end up just being pretty mediocre. We're going to be honest. Now, New York's here, and honestly, I mean, dude, can you get better fit than Chaz Surratt? I got to make sure the Giants didn't get a blitzing linebacker because, and they didn't. They got Reggie Ragland. Okay, yeah, no, that's gonna change the entire draft. Chaz Surratt just cannot be falling here. He's so old, that's the reason why. But this team looks like it's ready to win right now. So I'm a big fan of the Giants draft right now. I'm a huge fan of it, actually. So, woo. With the Chargers on the board, again, we could go for a Creed Humphrey as extra depth because it could just be best player available, right? Sorry, Creed. Not going to happen. I would look at wide receiver, not really vibing with it, if we're going to be honest. I'm vibing with Pete Werner on this squad, though. He is extra linebacker depth. Again, let's just make sure that the Chargers did not sign a linebacker. Okay, Kyler. Yeah, again, we're going to totally change the draft because of Kyler Fackrell. Adding Pete Werner in there is going to be a huge, huge plus. He can definitely deal with the linebackers in his division. He's really damn good at covering linebackers in a division with a guy like Travis Kelce, Darren Waller. That's pretty good. So you got as well with Kenneth Murray there. Now you have Pete Werner and 2 really young linebackers. With Kaiser White coming up on a contract extension as well, I believe. That's pretty big. Now, I would go Creed Humphrey if they did not just trade a 6th-round pick for Mason Cole, which I want to see if the Vikings still have that because I might just trade it to the Cards because I want to see the Vikings. Oh, they're right next to each other. How cute. And the Cardinals. I want to see, do they have their 6th? I think that they still do. So we're going to be trading it for that future 6 and then, okay, really? So we're going to do a future 6 and a future 7. I mean, those picks aren't going to matter at all. Just to make sure that it's all up to date. We still might take Creed Humphrey though, but they do need a safety so badly. And I mean, I'm looking at it. They could use a strong safety like a Hamza Nasir Dean, and he's very athletic. But we could also look at edge and get a guy like Jordan Smith, This is a tough spot, guys. This is a really tough spot. I know they just traded for Mason Cole. I don't know how much more of a contract Mason Cole has, but we could kick Ezra Cleveland out the tackle again if we want to bring in Creed Humphrey. I think that might be what we do. Again, let's just check out what the Vikings have done. You guys are probably getting so bored of this, and I apologize. I want to make sure I do the right thing. So he actually did. So good, good. Also, I think I just fucked up that trade. That trade was not supposed to go through, but it's not going to make a difference anyways. But I mean, I want to see. Yeah, okay. Mason Cole is there. They also got Pat Pete. I think you guys got to go with Creed Humphrey anyways. I don't think it really matters. Kick what's his name? Ezra Cleveland to tackle, and then put Creed Humphrey in there. It's too good of value to pass up. Again, he could be a really good guard. I have him as a 3rd-round guard. I just have him as a 6th-round center. I just cannot understand his IQ issues. Now with the Raiders on the board, you already know where I'm going with this. We're replacing our safety, LaMarcus Joyner, with LaMarcus Joyner 2.0, or Darius Washington. He's a beast. Bottom line, he's a beast. Now, Raiders sitting here again, and we got a tackle guard hybrid there. But again, we could get a guy like Spencer Brown to play right tackle where we have a hole. And now you have 2 big needs filled. And that'd be huge. I'm pretty sure you guys brought in a nice interior defensive lineman. And of course, I don't want to be in all caps, but I'm pretty sure you guys brought in a very nice lineman that is going to be able to, not a very nice lineman, a very nice interior defensive lineman like Jonathan Hankins on a re-sign. It was Quentin Jefferson. He was, and Solomon Thomas. You guys filled up that pretty well. Nick Martin's already there. But again, Richie Incognito is going to be retiring soon. I'm going to be going Spencer Brown here to replace the other Brown that we just lost. And now we're going to kick in Leatherwood into guard to eventually replace Richie Incognito. That'd be a really good move. Now you have guys who are actually ready to play right now, and Derek Carr's not going to feel so left out. Now at 81, I could still see us going if Chaz Surratt were on the board. I would have probably went that way. I don't see it anymore, and there's still guys like Davion Nixon. There's still interior defensive linemen on the board where I honestly think a team could move up, like the Bears could move up a little bit. It's a tough one, guys. It's a tough one. There's still Tyson Campbell on the board too. Let's see if a team needs a corner. Did we draft a corner for the Titans? We had to have. We have not. So the Titans are going to be moving up. Hello. So yeah, we got to move my camera back up. We're moving the Titans all the way up with the Dolphins. And we're going to be selecting a high-end corner. We're going to throw in a 7th in there because it's a very short jump right there. Pretty big fan of that. By the way, I might be recorrecting the the trade I just made between Arizona and the Vikings. And I drafted Ifeatu Melifonwu. So that's a slight problem. But to be fair, we're going to be flipping these 2 picks. Look at that. That's great. So we moved back as well as gotten Tyson Campbell. We didn't. So we just drafted Ifeatu Melifonwu to the Washington football team and Tyson Campbell right here to the Titans. Flip those 2. We'll be on track. Okay. Big fan of both these guys. So both of them are really good for their respective schemes. I just flipped it right there by accidentally clicking the wrong guy, which is pretty fortunate, right? Now the Bears are sitting here, and dude, we might need to get a tackle, and Brady Christensen might be our only option, and then we also have Walker Little later on. I think we'll be okay with that front. Cornerback is kind of a huge issue, though. It is. I mean, Desmond Trufant's not going to fix the big ass hole that we lost with our number 1 corner. We're going Keith Taylor. We're going to run on corners right now. We got to do it. The Eagles are left on the board, and this is gonna be fun, guys. We're not gonna go Kyle Trask. I was about to pull the trigger on Davis Mills. I know that your owner is being all pissy about it, so we're gonna get away from that train. We're gonna look for a guard or a center, and man, sorry guys. I was gonna try to move up and get you guys a center, but it just didn't happen. We could also get you guys some form of, tight end help wouldn't be too helpful right now. I'm going to be honest. Safety, we could still get a safety in there because you guys don't have the cap to be able to keep, what's his name? Oh, Andre Cisco would be a really good addition. You got Kayvon Wallace there as well as Harrison. Now you also have Cisco. With how injury prone these guys can be, that might not be a bad move. Honestly, I'm going to pull the trigger anyways. Cisco's a great fit. And again, if you don't want to pay Harris, that's going to be a good spot. Now with the Dolphins left on the board again, you guys are always on the board. I'm going to be looking at the linebackers. Again, I just can't find anything. Quarterback, we don't need one. I mean, there's still Kyle Trask on the board. So let's see if a team wants to move up. Honestly, do I dare pull up with the Steelers for Kyle Trask? Honestly, this Davis Mills is more of a Steelers move, so I think they wouldn't move up for a Kyle Trask. But I could see Washington trying to draft one of these guys anyways. You guys are probably screaming and being like, absolutely hell no. But there are other guys on the board as well, like a Davion Nixon. There's still really good players on the board, like Davion Nixon. And the Packers are going to be moving up. Yeah, the Packers are going to be moving up. What's up, Cheeseheads? Packers moving up with the Dolphins. Because, again, you're going to try to show that you guys can win right now and you want to develop through the draft. You're going to put it in next year. We're going to put a next year 5th round pick. Not just, we're just going to do a next year 5th. To move up, potentially might be worth probably a 6th round pick next year. And that is going to allow us to either get a corner, which you still got like Paulson Adebo here, which, by the way, ran the 4.4s. Definitely thinking about doing that. Truel Williams, another really good option. Or else we can go with best player available, Davion Nixon. You guys need to help up front so badly. And he's going to be a beast. He's going to plug up that middle very well, along with Kenny Clark. Big fan of it. Now Washington's sitting here, and to be honest, this is where you get a quarterback. You guys aren't going to like it at all. You guys just don't have any needs. So I'm going to get Kyle Trask here, kind of stealing him from my Steelers, no pun intended, but it kind of hurts. Steelers could use a corner. To be honest, I might be going Paulson Adebo here, even with the quarterback on the board. We're going to be doing it. The Steelers lost Steven Nelson. That's why. So we're going to go Paulson Adebo there. We need it. We definitely need the help. Kyle Trask again at 86. To me, I have him as like a mid-third. It's a good value. Again, you could train him up with a guy like Fitzmagic, and you have Heineke, Trask, Fitzmagic. That's a good quarterback room right there. Rams sitting on the board. You know, I could definitely see him going a linebacker here. Cameron McGrone is a little bit underrated, so I could be pulling that trigger anyways. Looking at the lineman left on the board, we could go Deontay Brown. This is a good spot for Brady Christensen, though. He's going to develop. He's going to sit. He's going to grow. That's a big plus. That's a big plus for me. A very high upside pick. With the Browns on the board, pretty sure they got their own cornerback in the draft. Not in the draft, in free agency, right? So of course, it doesn't actually select where it's going to be. They did get Troy Hill, so I'm not going to be pulling the trigger on a corner right now. I could look at linebacker also. They got Anthony Walker there. Not going to be doing that. Wide receiver, though, they still got Amari Rodgers on the board. Shoot. I mean, Nico Collins could be a nice big jump threat and use him kind of as like a tight end hybrid. Honestly, there's not really a bad way we can go here. Let's go best player on the board, which is potentially Nico Collins. Big fan of that. And that leaves the Vikings on the board, and we're going to be going Hamza here. I don't know enough about Jamar Johnson, and he just made a random big jump without anybody knowing. So I'm going to be going Hamza there 100%. The Browns are going to be trading out this spot, by the way. We're going to try to trade it for a next year 3 or something. There still is Amari Rodgers on the board, and there are teams. You could even look at the Cardinals as a team that want to move up. To be honest, Rondale Moore is there, but we still could go Amari Rodgers to be basically your true slot weapon right here in Detroit. There's a lot of teams that could roll with it. Ooh, we could even see the Titans try to move up here. Titans already moved up once. We might see them move up again, guys. The Titans have not really addressed the slot wide receiver position. We got it with the boundary with Rondale Moore, but now we're going to be moving up with the Titans. Who the hell is the pick right now? We got the Browns on the board, right? We do, because I want to trade out the spot. So we're going to trade in a 6th, and then we'll try to see if we can pop maybe a 6th next year. Just try to swap years for 6th, and then that should be perfectly fine. Potentially just asking for a 7th. We're going to be getting Amari Rodgers here. That to me is a big need to get that slot wide receiver to get open. And that's a big W right there. That's a good steal. Very, very happy with that. By the way, I might be drafting a quarterback for the Titans soon. For the Dolphins, I mean, we just might want to go with best player available, and that's Jay Tuafele. We could go Tommy Tremble as like a real true tight end. That wouldn't be a bad option. But I'm going to go Jay Tuafele because it's just like, why the fuck not? You know, it's just like, why not? The Bills, you guys are sitting here, and I mean, there's not really too many places you can really go. Demetric Felton, again, it's just kind of like what you already have. You want to go edge? We already did that for you guys. Linebacker, did we already do linebacker? You guys brought back Matt Milano. That's right. We still could go that route. Corner, we also did that. Shoot, there's not really any needs on your damn team. Safety, we could have went that as well. Interior defensive line, though, we could just try to get a guy like Tyler Shelvin just to plug up the middle. Damn, this is a really good. Well, they do want tight ends though, and to be honest, this wouldn't be a bad idea. Let's just get Tommy Tremble for the squad. He's a big blocking guy, really good in the run game. Dawson Knox is much better as a receiver. Tommy Tremble is going to be a really big asset. They tried to trade or tried to sign Rob Gronkowski, so a big fan of that. With the Chiefs on the board, again, do not need any of those, but they could use a linebacker. Cameron McGrone's on the board. I don't care if they even sign a linebacker. They still could use one. Chiefs, what have you done? Absolutely nothing that is notable. So Cameron McGrone, to me, definitely needs to be that pick there. And then that leaves the Buccaneers on the board before we get the compensatory picks. Again, this is the long-ass video of the entire draft. The Buccaneers are just trying to run it back. So they're going to go best player available. I don't know who Milton Williams is. Going to be honest, do not know who he is. They're going to get Ndamukong Suh 2.0. Tyler Shelvin, big dude who can plug up the middle. Big fan of that. Next, we got the Lions still sitting here, and they could use a slot corner. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think they signed one in free agency. Lions, did they sign a slot corner? They did not. That's quite unfortunate. They got Alex Anzalone. That's really nice though, but I don't see any more slot corners here. Oh, Rodarius Williams. I don't know if he actually, if he's going to be playing slot or not. I know Kerry Vincent ran like in the 4.3s. He could definitely be a good slot in the NFL. But this is a good spot for a developmental tackle like Walker Little. Stealing him from my Bears. I hate it, but he's going to be going around round 3, if not earlier, because NFL teams are going to see that 2018 tape, 2019 tape. I'm like, or no, that's going to be actually 2018 tape. Jesus. So next we got the Cards sitting there, and it's like, well, we could just get a running back, and Kenny Gainwell could be a really good all-around running back for us, and it's just like really good value. So why the hell not? So good job by the Cardinals, not really doing too much in terms of movement and still being able to get really good guys. And the Saints are on the board again. This could all just be flipped with like a Richard Sherman signing, but they still don't have anybody. And Trill Williams he's a steal, man. He's somebody who people don't know enough about, including myself, but I've seen Syracuse has a really good secondary. So big props to him. By the way, Tommy Tremble might have been this pick right here for the Cowboys, but no longer. You guys have enough safeties on the board too, by the way. You guys got a lot of random dudes in this draft, but we could use a backup quarterback here. You guys would go ballistic. I know it, but it wouldn't be a bad idea. If we're going to be honest, there's not really too much we need to do at this spot. Like, we could just go for another interior defensive lineman to get just like extra depth. But looking at it, this could be a good spot to trade back. Hunter Long wouldn't be a bad option, though. He's definitely going to be pretty solid. He would be good there with Blake Jarwin. Again, we're just getting best player available. And that's exactly what we want to look at. But again, Jordan Smith has enough weight to be able to be put inside of your scheme and be able to be semi-effective. I'm just going to do it just because I like Jordan Smith's potential. And him next to DeMarcus Lawrence, not Dexter Lawrence, is going to be great. Next, we got the Browns again. Jeez, like, really, guys? Of course, I'm the only reason why it happened because I keep trading down. But again, there's not really much that I can really feel like it's good value. Your guards, pretty good. You got that Davis guy as well as Zeitler, and they're both really good. Center-wise, I think you're pretty good there as well. Tackle-wise, you're great. So you got a really good line, got a really good team. I just can't see really too much that to complain about. And you got Johnny Johnson there as well. So honestly, we're going to trade this for a future pick. There still is guys like Deontay Brown on the board that teams are going to be coveting. Not to mention guys like Hunter Long. Obviously, Deontay Brown already said that. Cam Samples here, Demetric Felton. So there are also teams that are looking for a quarterback, including the Lions, including the Niners. They definitely have been looking for a good backup there because they haven't really had one. To be honest, I might be going with that route. And I hate to say it because my Steelers might want to be moving up here, but I can't really do it with the Browns because, again, not really in a good position to trade with your own division. We could even look at the Rams, but the Rams are not going to be doing that. That's ridiculous. So, again, we're stuck in this spot. Have to think out loud because, again, I don't want to make stuff like this for you guys. Ooh, we could see the Rams trying to get a guard here with Deontay Smith, though. That wouldn't be a bad option. What are teams that could use a guard? The Niners. Actually, the Niners, that wouldn't be a bad option. You guys still need a guard, if I'm not mistaken. That would be a really good pick. You guys didn't even have a third round pick, if I'm not mistaken. This would be a great selection for you guys. So we're trading up with the Niners, but not for a quarterback. We're trading up for Deontay Smith, who's a really good player. So we're trading. We're going to be trading a future third, as well as maybe like a seventh this year, in order to make this trade. Because again, the Browns don't need draft capital this year. Their team's already built, and they might want some down the line. So I'm going to be going with a tackle in Deontay Smith here. He works really well as a guard. I'm a huge fan of it. So now the Lions are sitting there, and dude, this is a good spot to take one of these quarterbacks. And Davis Mills to me all the way. If you want to have a Stafford/Goff prototype quarterback, that's a really good idea. Really good move. And also steals him from San Francisco, who they really need to get Deontay Smith. I might have even taken him here if Davis Mills went at this pick. But the Niners are sitting there, and I mean, they're pretty cheesing. We could still look at a safety for them. Again, I don't know enough about Jamar Johnson. No reports found, so I can't even study up on him. So that's a little bit unfortunate at this time, but we should get some edge here. There's still Hamilcar Rashed in here, and I honestly am going to be going Cam Sample, though. He can actually fit your 4-3 scheme as well. Big fan of it. I've heard comps to Khalil Mack, so just take that as you will. Take that as you will. The Rams, of course, another team where I was thinking about moving up for Deontay Smith, are sitting there, and I could see them going a linebacker. If Monty Rice is a good option for them, Charles Snowden could be a weird option for them. It's another tough spot. I think we should go corner, though. And I'm looking at guys like Israel Mukuamu, who have a lot of potential. And I think the Rams are going to want to get somebody who could be a day one impact if Jalen Ramsey coaches him up right. And he's 6'3", 6'4", has a lot of speed, really high potential player. And the Ravens are sitting there and they're like, well, this is our bread and butter. We're good at getting guys down the line. We're 3-4 guys. And Hamilcar Rashed is kind of perfect for a true rusher. I saw him. He has a lot of potential as long as he stays healthy. I think this would be a good spot for him. I actually did a full report on him, so I wanted to make sure I understood him for you guys. That'd be a good spot. And the Saints are sitting here. A safety would be good. Again, we already don't have enough safeties on the board for us to want to take one. I see Patrick Jones as a good option to just sit and learn and be a good rotational guy, somebody with a very, very high upside. So I want to know what you guys think. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the far side. Peace.